So we got another one on middle class destruction titled "The Real Story Behind America's Declining Economy," authored by Peter Regan via Birch Gold Group. Birch Gold Group. The middle class, the backbone of the nation, are struggling, as Newsweek puts it. Interesting pick. From the National True Cost of Living Coalition. Wow, that's a coalition called that. Interesting. So the economic hardships of millions of middle-class Americans are going unseen by their gov. They feel left behind, unable to relate to testaments of a better econ forecast, and many doubt they will ever find a way out of their financial struggles. Here are a few highlights of the poll results. 40% of all Americans are unable to plan beyond their next paycheck. I mean, 46% don't have $500 saved for a rainy day. A quarter of those making $75,000 per year spend over 50% of their budget on housing. It's a quarter of those making $75,000 per year spend over 50% of their budget on housing. The majority of those making under $60,000 per year find their debt difficult to manage. Being a middle-class American these days simply doesn't offer economic security. Yeah, I mean that's what everybody's saying. It's harder to be middle class today than it was back in the day, because prices for everything they want you to pay more for, and this is why so many people are fed up with hearing about how the economy is booming. In a prosperous country, the success of the middle and upper class should parallel each other. Interesting, parallel. If upper class wealth grows 10%, then middle class wealth should grow approximately the same amount, distributed across a much wider portion of the population. Unfortunately, this isn't happening, and it hasn't been for quite some time. The middle class has fallen behind in two key counts. The share of income held by the middle class has plunged. So what's going on? Here's what CNN blames. America's middle class is feeling the heat from sky-high interest rates and persistent inflation. Yeah, they want you to borrow everything. It's like they want more. It's like the way, I heard somebody said, before, like the way the credit system is set up, the school system, all those systems set up, they want you in debt. And I mean, the internet, with people being able to be their own news stations, is offering some type of balance towards the mainstream news that they push. I mean, but yeah, I mean, you got to take all those things, you got to take all those things into account to balance out, the whole game. First, prices have risen well beyond the capacity of the majority of Americans to ever become homeowners. Homes are unaffordable in 99% of the nation. A good job is hard to find and getting harder. Wait, let's get more. How many minutes we in on this? 4 minutes in? Should we go straight to the comments? U.S. home prices are at record highs. Yeah, interesting. Thousands of corporate layoffs have some Americans struggling to make ends meet, saying they feel as though they are living in a recession. Yeah, people have these unstable jobs, even if you're making six figures. If it's unstable and you could get fired any day, then I guess in general you want to find a way to be able to make have multiple, streams of income. Yeah, the second, higher interest rate is debt more expensive, and you usually got to go into debt to get a house, or even some sometimes even certain vehicles. Any economy worth its salt can produce low-skilled, low-wage jobs. The ability for the middle class to find work is what generally separates the wheat from the chaff, at least in the first world countries like the U.S. But according to a number of different reports, the middle class job market is sluggish at best. Recent data published by Vanguard shows demand for higher income employees is waning, painting a picture of a two-tier job market that has been hiring flourished for blue-collar workers and language. Among the lowest income earners, those making less than 55, the hiring rate has remained above pre-pandemic levels. For those who earn more than 96, has slowed to just 0.5. This is the slowest hiring rate for high-income workers since 2014, excluding a major drop during the pandemic. It's getting tougher and tougher to find a good job. Yeah, I think everybody would generally agree with that statement. There's a stagnant job market and job people crazy, a career coach in media, entertainment, and tech. I mean, the job market and the dating market, those are two interesting markets when you really think about it. The job market and the dating relationship, you can even put marriage market in there, or the sexual market. The bottom line, not too long ago, most professionals were living in a job hopper's paradise. Now, not so much. When middle class workers were able to easily trade up an existing job for a new higher paying job, they were able to stay on top of persistently rising expenses. That time is no longer. Now those who do have jobs are truly grateful even when their pay falls short of expenses. And those who don't have jobs are getting desperate. Wow. So those who don't have jobs are getting desperate. Overall, we're at a very precarious economic time. Inflation has run above, sometimes far, far above the Fed's 2% target for 39 consecutive months. Average paychecks have risen but fallen far short of the high cost of living. Both middle class and wealthy Americans are cutting back on spending. When you consider economic growth as well, trust me, a recession is good news when the other choice is another lost decade. A persistent inflation, low to negative non-growth, and high unemployment. So we got 200 some comments, 50,000 some views. Son of Loki. He said Obama's living the whitest, richest neighborhood. Anonymous but credible. That's a funny man. Let's see what else you got for the comments. They talking about climate change. These comments are not really popping. He says slave jobs, wow. Finance, slave jobs, wow. Education, housing, food, healthcare, they are all a trap. Yeah, you gotta deal with that. Most people gotta deal with that. You gotta deal with that. You gotta deal with that. Yeah. We 9 minutes in, almost 10 minutes in. Around here it gets 20,000 new apartments and homes, but the new number of jobs appallingly low. Not so sure all these people are going to work. Those new subdivisions will become the criminal ghettos. Get a gun, you will probably need it within a few years, and I say that only because no future elected government is going to be able to solve the problem past money printing and throwing it at the 100% failed economy. Yeah, they're building, yups. Ice_pop 2 days ago, yup, same here, loads of new condos, apartments, and the only new employer is an Amazon fulfillment center. Yeah, how are they building loads of new condos and apartments, and the only new employer is an amazing Amazon fulfillment center? Almost wonder if that's not the point, like a company store. LTC, yeah, my apartment complex is supposedly decent. It's in a great part of town. Yeah, I saw a drug deal go down. But 10 times new complexes within 2-mile radius went up, and they are sitting vacant. The renting price collapsed. And all the hood is moving in from the outer burbs /ghettos. So I can buy a D.R. Horton home and have a 4K mortgage with a 2-hour commute, or live amongst drug dealers. Wow, just fucking great. Wow, it's only going to get weirder. Wow, Peach fundamentally change America. His words, not mine. We're getting there. Hugh Jorgen. Yep, the left is sharing the destruction of the middle class. They think everyone but them was born on third base, but truth is, interesting, he said born on third base. Wow, I never heard that term before. But truth is, too many of them grew up in. Yeah, I mean this comment section is valuable. The Raw Star Hip Hop comment section, yeah, it has some value. I would say it does have some value. It's like kind of like, going to hear like people preach about different things. They think everyone but them was born on third base. Wow, born on third. But truth is, too many of them grew up in the broken homes and used that as their excuse to liberate the family model, which is the central pillar in the middle class. 12 minutes in. When you see that in order to produce, you need to obtain permission from men who produce nothing. When you see that money is flowing to those who deal, not in goods, but in favors. When you see that men get richer by graft and by pull than by work, and your laws don't protect you against them, but protect them against you. When you see corruption being rewarded and honesty being a self-sacrifice, you may know that your society is doomed. Interesting. Ayn Rand, Atlas Shrugged. Interesting. A lunatic, we have arrived. Wow, that's what he said. Interesting. Rich Stoner, I'm middle class and did not need this article to explain to me how shitty my life is. Wow. Prince of the Ravens, premium. When a nation decides to outsource all of the good paying work to the cheapest labor rate, you can be sure that nation's wealth will surely follow. Said by a wise man. Interesting. Confucius. So what other comments we have? Yeah, this comment section way better than the other comment, other article before about the rent. Yeah, about the rent. Banks have strip mined the wealth of all nations for the 1%. Politicians exist to help in that process. No one should wonder why they live on the breadline. We are slaves. Wow. Say we are. Wow. Shauna tells 40,000 years now, middle class does have us rent. Much of the rest is transportation vehicles. The crumb goes to smartphones, foods, meds, and booze. Oh yeah, if we're talking 45 grand before taxes, Israel and Ukraine get the pie, you get the crumbs. Wow. Said my assistant secretary spends more on vacations, cell phones, direct TV, internet, and weekly excursions than I do. 10-pack cigs and drinks beer like there's no cost. Raises their kids to be codependent and basically raises their grandchildren because their kids haven't been taught responsibility, and then cries more. Maybe a little hard time isn't a bad education for today's entitled society. Wow. How much did she spend on tattoos? I hope she doesn't drink any beer that's mass produced. How many pets does she own? Hopefully they are well bred, well fed, and get monthly checkups at the vets for $600 per visit. Wow. Does she spend on neck tattoos? If yes, then BBC has been there. Wow. All right. We doing part two. Maybe. Maybe. Where is he? Holla. Like, comment,